She was the IT girl of the 70s, but where is she now? What happened to Hollywood's most stunning stars? Hollywood in the 1970s had some of the most breathtaking and unforgettable actresses. But while some remained icons, others faded into obscurity. Today we revisit 20 of the most gorgeous actresses of the 70s and uncover where they are now. These women weren't just famous, they defined an entire era. But Hollywood is fickle, and beauty fades, or does it? Let's take a look. Bambi Woods, the starlet who disappeared without a trace. She was the all-American dream, blonde, beautiful, and born to be a star. When she burst onto the scene in the late 70s, Hollywood took notice. She had that fresh-faced charm, the kind of smile that made audiences believe in fairy tales, and then she disappeared. No farewell interview, no comeback tour, no "where is she now?" special, just gone. As they say in The Usual Suspects, the greatest trick the devil ever pulled was convincing the world he didn't exist. Rumors flew. Did she escape Hollywood's dark side? Did she reinvent herself under a new name? Or was her disappearance something more sinister? One thing's for sure, Bambi Woods became more famous by vanishing than she ever was on screen. Angelic Bella, Europe's forbidden femme fatale. Born in Hungary, Angelic Bella captivated audiences with her exotic beauty and daring on-screen performances. She ruled the European film scene in the 80s and 90s, earning a reputation as a fearless actress who could command a room with just one sultry glance. Her films crossed boundaries, making her both controversial and irresistible. But fame came at a price: scandals, betrayals, and a reputation that Hollywood didn't know how to handle. Even after stepping away, her name still sparks intrigue. Was she a misunderstood artist or a woman ahead of her time? Either way, she left an unforgettable legacy. Desiree West, the trailblazer Hollywood forgot. In a time when Hollywood's doors were barely open for women like her, Desiree West kicked them down. With her striking beauty and undeniable talent, she became a groundbreaking figure, a woman who refused to be sidelined. She had the poise of a queen, the charisma of a leading lady, and a presence that demanded attention. But despite her success, Hollywood was still playing by old rules. One day, Desiree was shining in the spotlight. Then, just as suddenly, she was gone. Did she walk away to reclaim her own story, or did the industry turn its back on her? The answer remains one of Hollywood's quietest mysteries. Hyapatia, the enigmatic beauty with a secret past. Hyapatia wasn't just a Hollywood starlet. She was a mystery wrapped in long, jet-black hair and a 1,000-watt smile. Born in the heartland of America, she captivated audiences with her striking features and undeniable talent. But behind the scenes, whispers of hidden heartbreak, industry feuds, and a battle between fame and freedom. She won beauty pageants, stole scenes in blockbuster hits, and then she walked away. Some say she retreated into the shadows, reinventing herself under a new name. Others claim Hollywood chewed her up and spit her out. The truth, only Hyapatia knows. Nah Hartley, the comeback queen who refused to fade. If Hollywood had a playbook on survival, Nah Hartley wrote it. The California-born blonde bombshell burst onto the scene in the early 80s, effortlessly blending brains, beauty, and that signature mischievous twinkle in her blue eyes. She was unstoppable until Hollywood's fickle nature turned against her. But Nah? Oh, she played the long game, reinventing herself, directing her own projects, and proving that a leading lady never truly fades. Decades later, she's still a force, still defying expectations. They tried to write her off, but guess what? Nah Hartley is the plot twist. Jenna Jameson, Vegas royalty, Hollywood's wild card. Born under the neon glow of Las Vegas, Jenna Jameson was destined for the spotlight. And did she ever claim it? She wasn't just a pretty face. She was a businesswoman, a headline maker, a scandal magnet. Hollywood saw her as a risk. But Jenna? She saw herself as a revolution. She turned her fame into an empire, proving that beauty and brains go hand in hand. But with power comes enemies, and Jenna had plenty. Feuds, heartbreak, reinvention. Her life played out like a Hollywood epic, and just when you think you know her next move, boom, Jenna changes the game. Angel Dark, the European seductress Hollywood couldn't handle. Straight out of Slovakia, Angel Dark had a face sculpted by the gods and a presence that made directors weak in the knees. She stormed onto the international film scene with her exotic looks and smoldering confidence, quickly becoming one of Europe's most talked-about leading ladies. But Hollywood? They didn't know what to do with her. Was she too bold, too fearless, or just too ahead of her time? She stormed onto the scene, turning heads, making waves, and then, just like that, she was gone. Reminds me of that famous line from The Dark Knight, "You either die a hero or live long enough to see yourself become the villain." Angel took the industry by storm, but just when it seemed like she had it all, she vanished from the limelight. Did she walk away, or was she pushed? Kay Parker, the British rose with a Hollywood edge. With her refined British charm and an allure that could hypnotize an entire room, Kay Parker was no ordinary starlet. She arrived in Hollywood in the 70s, ready to conquer Tinseltown with her sultry voice and effortless elegance. But behind the sophistication was a woman fighting for her place in an industry notorious for chewing up and spitting out talent. She starred in cult classics, built a fan base that adored her, and then she switched gears. No scandals, no dramatic exits, just a woman taking control of her own narrative. But Hollywood never forgets a legend, and neither do we. Lisa Ann, the woman who played by her own rules. Some actresses follow the rules. Lisa Ann rewrote them. With her magnetic screen presence and undeniable business savvy, she wasn't just another Hollywood beauty, she was a one-woman empire. She conquered the industry, took charge of her career, and turned her name into a brand. But power comes with a price, and Lisa had her fair share of battles. She faced critics, haters, and industry politics, yet she never wavered. Some called her controversial, others called her iconic, but one thing's for sure, Lisa Ann never played the Hollywood game. She was the game. Samantha Strong, the star who dared to shine. Some actresses wait for Hollywood to discover them. Samantha Strong kicked down the door and made the industry take notice. With her golden hair and captivating presence, she was a director's dream. But Hollywood? It had a habit of underestimating women like her. She wasn't just another pretty face, she was fearless, taking on roles others wouldn't dare. But as the industry changed, so did Samantha. She vanished from the spotlight, leaving fans wondering, was it her choice? Or did Hollywood turn its back on one of its brightest stars? Some say she's out there, watching, waiting. Little Oral Annie, Hollywood sweetheart with a scandalous secret. Don't let the innocent name fool you. Little Oral Annie was a force to be reckoned with. Rising to fame in the 1980s, she had the kind of beauty that made producers line up and audiences beg for more. But beneath the glitz and glamour, Hollywood whispers told a different story. Some claimed she was caught in a tangled web of industry secrets. Others say she left at the height of her fame to escape the chaos. One day she was everywhere, then suddenly nowhere. What really happened? Only Annie knows, and she's not telling. Annette Schwartz, the European rebel who played by no one's rules. Annette Schwartz wasn't just a starlet, she was a revolution. With her striking German looks and an attitude that screamed unapologetic, she took Hollywood by storm. Directors called her bold, critics called her too much, but Annette, she just called it Tuesday. She broke barriers, shocked audiences, and proved that she could hold her own in a world that didn't always welcome outsiders. But Hollywood's love affair with rebels is always short-lived. Annette disappeared from the scene, leaving only one question behind. Was she too wild for Hollywood, or was Hollywood too tame for her? Gianna Michaels, the girl who laughed in the face of Hollywood. In an industry obsessed with perfection, Gianna Michaels did something radical. She had fun. With her infectious energy and signature smirk, she brought a rebellious charm that made her impossible to ignore. But Hollywood wasn't always kind to women who refused to play by its beauty standards. Gianna built her own empire, turning her unfiltered confidence into a career that had everyone watching. But just as fast as she rose, she disappeared. Did she walk away on her own terms, or did Hollywood finally catch up with her? One thing's for sure, no one ever forgot Gianna Michaels. Annette, the firecracker who burned too bright. Annette wasn't just a star, she was a supernova. Bursting onto the scene in the 90s, she had that rare mix of talent, charisma, and an "I dare you to look away" attitude. Directors loved her, fans adored her, and Hollywood needed her. But the fast life of fame comes with a dark side, and for Anna, the spotlight burned hotter than most. She was gone too soon, leaving behind a legacy that still has fans wondering, was Hollywood too much for Anna, or was Anna too much for Hollywood? Either way, she left the stage before the final act, and the world felt it. Asia Carrera, the brainy beauty who outsmarted Hollywood. Most starlets hope for fame. Asia Carrera, she had options. With an IQ that could rival the best minds in the business and a beauty that left audiences breathless, she wasn't just another Hollywood pretty face, she was dangerous. Asia took over the scene with a mix of elegance and edge, proving that talent isn't just about looks. But Hollywood doesn't always know what to do with a woman who's both brilliant and beautiful. So she flipped the script, walked away on her terms, and never looked back. Now the question remains, did Hollywood lose Asia Carrera, or did Asia Carrera outgrow Hollywood? Katsuni, the French temptress who stole the spotlight. Some actresses enter Hollywood quietly. Katsuni? She owned the room from the second she arrived, with a smoldering French accent and a face that could launch 1,000 scandals. She was impossible to ignore. But Hollywood has a habit of taming its wild ones, and Katsuni, she refused to be tamed. She took the industry by storm, set her own rules, and when she'd had enough, poof, gone. No messy scandals, no dramatic exits, just a legend walking off into the sunset, leaving Hollywood wondering who was chasing who. Jenny Lee, the starlet who vanished beneath the city. Jenny Lee had that classic Hollywood magic, grace, charm, and a face that lit up the screen. But Hollywood doesn't just give you success, it makes you fight for it. And Jenny? She fought until she disappeared. One day she was gracing magazine covers. The next, found living in an underground tunnel in Las Vegas. What happened? A tragic twist of fate? A fall from grace? Or did she finally get tired of the game and slip away into the shadows? Either way, Hollywood learned a hard lesson. You can put a star in the sky, but you can't control how it burns. Sylvia Saint, the Ice Queen, with a fiery secret. Cool, collected, and effortlessly elegant, Sylvia Saint had Hollywood wrapped around her perfectly manicured finger. With her angelic blonde locks and hypnotic blue eyes, she became the European sensation of the 1990s. But here's the thing about Ice Queens. They melt, and when they do, it's explosive. Sylvia took the industry by storm, breaking records and hearts along the way. Then, just as quickly as she rose, she stepped away. No scandal, no controversy, just a woman who knew her worth. Did Hollywood ever deserve her? Probably not. And that's why she'll always be remembered as the one that got away. Anita Blonde, the golden girl who was too hot to handle. With hair as golden as an Oscar statue and a presence that made Hollywood sweat, Anita Blonde was the ultimate bombshell. Directors lined up, magazines fought for her, and audiences couldn't get enough. But Anita? She wasn't just a pretty face, she had power. She played the game too well, and Hollywood doesn't like when a woman holds all the cards. Just as quickly as she arrived, she was gone, leaving behind nothing but whispers and a legacy hotter than the California sun. Did Hollywood push her out, or was she always planning her own grand exit? Ava Hanger, the queen who wrote her own rules. If Hollywood were a chessboard, Ava Hanger would be the queen, and the one flipping the board when she was done playing. With Italian fire and Hungarian charm, she had men and movie moguls wrapped around her finger. She dominated screens, broke records, and when Hollywood thought they had her figured out, she reinvented herself. From actress to businesswoman to icon, Ava proved that some stars don't fade. They evolve. And just when you think she's done, oh honey, she's just getting started. Christy Canyon, the queen who walked away before Hollywood could take her down. She had everything, the looks, the fame, the kind of presence that made Hollywood men nervous. When Christy Canyon walked into a room, people paid attention. Hollywood loves a rising star, but it loves a tragic downfall even more. She wasn't just another pretty face. She had power. Directors chased her, fans adored her, and her name became legendary. But in Hollywood, power comes with a price. Then she did the unthinkable. She left, just like that. No drawn-out exit, no desperate comeback. She just walked away. As they said in Sunset Boulevard, "I'm ready for my close-up." Only Christy didn't need a close-up. She didn't need Hollywood at all. Did she leave before the industry could destroy her? Or did she see something coming that the rest of us missed? One thing's for sure, Christy Canyon didn't let Hollywood write her ending. She wrote it herself. Who's still stealing the spotlight? Let's discuss in the comments. And if you love vintage Hollywood, you'll love our next video. Check it out.